Hey everybody, Bigfoot here with Bigfoot Video. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to network put the little ends on the cable. It's pretty easy. I bought this kit. It came with everything I needed on Amazon. And I actually bought a 1,000-foot roll of Cat 6 wire, indoor wire, on Amazon as well. So worth it. Good for networking, good for security cameras, stuff like that. So this is going to be a video on how to do that. So hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Got any questions, drop them in the comment section. As soon as the video's over, go check out some of the other content. Here we go. Step one, put on the little ends, I forget what you call them. Step two, take this and you want to do the stripper section about 1 inch to 1.5 inches. No reason to hardcore cut it so you don't nick any of these wires in there. The same thing on the other end. Just make sure you're on your strip, not your cut. Alright, once you get those stripped, you pull your wires out of the way. I'm videoing. Oh, what's up, man? You doing all right? All right, so you move these wires out of the way, and then you just I usually get this little divider and that little string that's flopping around. And if yours has any extra goodies in there, you just need the wires, and then you just clip off that, discard it. Do the same thing on this side. Alright, so once you get that clipped out of the way, then it's just a matter of getting your wires separated and straightened. And this does take some practice. To really get good at. And it's possible there's some other tools that make this a little bit easier. But at the end of the day, you just got to get in there and do the work. So they're all separated, and I'll usually go through and kind of pull them out between my fingers. It straightens them, but they're still overall curved a little bit. I'll do that to all of them just to get the little squigglies out of it. Oops, I kind of cut my nail a little bit, the insulation. But once they're all pretty much straight, you just kind of straighten them out this way. And then I'll do the other wire in a second, but then you have to get your color pattern right, which mine has the color pattern on the tool right on this side. This is the T56 T568B RJ-45 wiring, eight connectors, and so it's going to be from left to right with the little keeper thing on the bottom. That's important. So from left to right with the keeper thing on the end of the RJ-45 connector, it'll be white green, solid green, and then white orange. And I make sure that they stay in order close to the bottom of where my fingers are at. And then we go solid blue. And it's best that you order these kind of oriented from the middle of the wire, because the wires just, they stay put better over here that way. They're not as bent down at the base. And then white blue. And then solid orange. And then white brown, and then solid brown. So it's important that you do these exactly the same pattern on both ends, otherwise you know your internet or your cameras won't work or whatever. But once you have them ordered, you start really straightening them out. You want them to be as close together as possible. You want to make sure your wires haven't flipped around. I try to make sure that they're as close to the base as possible, because it makes it easier pushing them into the connector bit here in just a bit without them shifting around on you. And I'm filming this real time to show you exactly how long it takes. Of course, for you it'd be minus instructional time, but plus beginner first time stuff. I've done this several times, so I don't have to, it doesn't mean I don't screw up, but alright, so I'm going to double check nothing moved. They're pretty straight. I'll usually kind of do that a couple times. I'm going to trim off this end flush, but white green, green, white orange, blue, white blue, orange, white brown, brown. So then you do that, and then you just trim it to where the ends are all the same length, and you get rid of all those frayed pieces. And then you take your connector and you hold it with that little flippy thing down, and then green to brown from left to right. And I put it in and I'll kind of push up and I'll push down a little bit, and you kind of wiggle, and usually they'll fit into their channel inside this, and you'll feel it kind of slip in past, and then you go ahead and push it through. And I like to push it through to where the brown, where your blue sheathing goes in about 1/4 inch inside this plug. And then you double check, make sure none crisscrossed inside there. White green, green, white orange, blue, white blue, orange, white brown, brown. So now you're good to go. You just slip it through into the 8P. Make sure that the wires go past the cutter. And again, it's that little clippy retaining thing down. And so once it's fully seated in the hole, you just crimp it down, and it cuts off your excess wires on the back side, and then that one's good to go. So that's how you do a clip end on an RJ-45. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section. I'm going to do the other end, and I'm going to test it with my tester, and then I guess I'll just clip that in together with this. So I'll do the other side off camera, or maybe I'll time lapse it. So that was much faster, doing it without talking through the deal. So I'm gonna plug both ends of my wire into my tester. It's self-explanatory. Master side on this side, tester side or remote on this one. But you can actually, I believe you can disconnect this and like run it on both sides. I don't know what the distance is on it, but if you wanted to, you know, usually you're gonna pull wire without the connectors on there, right? Anyway, but you just leave them together. Turn it on, and as long as they blink in sequence, then you're good. It will blink 1 through 8. Mine doesn't have the G connector on it. I'm assuming that's some kind of a ground. I think this is just a faster or a slower blink. And that's it. So that's wired correctly. Again, if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Bigfoot out.